of Angels PAL program, inspired a box by her mother, a breast cancer survivor.
I can already see that Fonseca's got some nice footwork.
Good right from Fonseca.
She set it up very well. Jab to the body and brought the right hand over the top.
Double jabs from Fonseca. Sound effects.
There's some technique behind those sound effects.
Yeah.
She knows how to control distance.
5'6" against 5'2". Jabs and right from Fonseca. Pushes back Reyes. Fonseca serves in the Northeast Division. That's where she patrols for the LAPD. Isabel Reyes from Newbury Park, California. Trained by Alex Brenes. Fonseca trained by John Negrete. Fonseca looking good in the opening round.
And nice and sharp. She seems relaxed and poised. Reyes does too, but she's got to either start putting some real pressure on Fonseca or she has to learn how to time her. And with her height and her reach advantage, she could be able to do that, but so far, no good.
Fonseca's done a nice job of just establishing the jab from the very beginning. That's one of the basic tenets you want to teach any young fighter. Anyone that just gets in the gym, really the first thing you're taught in terms of punching is the fundamental jab. And I think Fonseca's just simply out-jabbed Reyes here in
I don't
the
know how many
first 2
times you
minutes.
said that in a pro fight. If this kid had a jab, Fonseca's thrown, I think, 100 of them in this round.
Fonseca, not just working a jab, Steve, but also finding a space for her straight right and employing lateral movement, which effectively neutralized the offense of Reyes.
Standing room only crowd at the Belasco Theater, LA Fight Club special edition benefiting the Susan G. Komen Foundation, LAPD, and Golden Boy Promotions hooking up for this charity night. It'll also feature 3 excellent professional fights with Nico Valdez, Emilio Sanchez, and Oscar Negrete. Right now you're watching Dre Fonseca. She has the red gloves, the shorter fighter, against Isabel Reyes. This is Reyes' first ever sanctioned bout.
You could see here early on, round number 2, Beto, she's trying to quicken the pace, being a little bit more active, although she got hit right there with an overhand counter.
Another one
And
followed
another
up.
one.
And she doesn't really have a defense for that straight right or the overhand right.
Dre Fonseca's dad, Daniel, was a fighter. So I'm pretty sure he was working his version of mitts in the living room with his daughter.
Absolutely. Or maybe she used to watch him shadow box and stuff because she's got really nice form.
Yeah.
So hats off to John Negrete, her trainer. She's well schooled in there. And hats off to Reyes as well, who stepped up the pace and aggression.
It was a sold-out event, as is usually the case for the LA Fight Club. This is a different vibe early on. Usually, for the early fights, when they have the pros in there, you have everybody's cheering section loud. Right now, it just feels like that nervous anticipation where you're watching your coworker,
Absolutely,
who you know doesn't do this as a profession. Like, nobody's getting booed in this one.
No, there's no booing, and it's a little more subdued than we're used to.
Except for that right from Fonseca. That wasn't subdued.
No, not at all.
Good job by Dre here in the second.
That was well timed. Jab to the body, right over the top. It worked in the opening round. It worked very well in round 2.
You know, the one thing Fonseca
Fonseca
has shown is a little bit more craft. I think certainly she's a more seasoned fighter, whether that's just from being at the gym or having a boxing background with her family. She's been very sneaky. You see right there again that counter overhand right. One thing Reyes is going to learn when you jab, you have to be able to jab at a proper distance and then also bring that left hand back a little bit higher.
Reyes was able to land the jab when she stepped forward with it. She just wasn't able to close in with her right hand. And maybe, despite her height and her reach advantages, it might behoove her to mix it up more on the inside.
Third and final round. The Belasco Theater in downtown Los Angeles. Trey Fonseca controlling this fight, the shorter fighter, as Reyes comes out with some aggression to start this round. Fonseca bouncing around on her toes, moving those hips. Looks smooth up there.
No, she does. And one thing that's evident, Beto, is that not only is she quicker off the trigger, the punches just come out.
Hey, no pun there with the LAPD.
Yeah, well, right. But, whoa. But not only that, she's much more fluid in there. It's much easier for her to throw, let's say, 1 or 2 punch combinations and follow it up with the hook once in a while. Well, really, you could see Reyes, he's just really thinking about throwing 1 punch at a time. And again, she gets hit with another right hand over the top.
And that's common when this is your first time in there and when you're new to this. And it's not a surprise that Reyes is breathing heavy and Fonseca isn't breathing hard at all.
Well, when you do spar, you're at the gym. What, a couple people watching you, there's people waiting for you. Here you have an audience.
And you see what she did about 15 seconds ago. She actually feinted low with the left jab, didn't throw it, and went right over the top again. See, that's been a very, very crafty maneuver for her.
Strong jab. Trey Fonseca, Northeast Division of the LAPD, looking good.
Showing a nice pivot on her front foot, some angles.
Been a very sound game plan for Fonseca. Jab towards the chest and the stomach and come over the top with the right hand.
And Reyes has remained game from start to finish. There we go. Now Reyes is finding range. Too bad this isn't a 4-rounder.
There it is. Good action between Trey Fonseca and Isabel Reyes.
Yeah, Reyes is in beast mode. She's on her stalk right now.
10 seconds ago, Sugar Dre and the Beast Reyes. Good action between the two ladies here at the LA Fight Club in downtown Los Angeles.
These are my mom's shoes. I walked in her shoes all 60 miles.
When they first told us she had breast cancer, I was scared to death. I thought that I was going to lose my best friend.
The 3-day walk is a life-changing experience. So filled with hope, with love, and support.
I don't want my daughter to have to go through what she went through.
I have to walk. I will walk.
Why walk 60 miles in the boldest breast cancer event in history? Because everyone deserves a lifetime. Visit the3day.org today to request an informational DVD and receive a free promise ring.
I never really got to have a say in whether or not I wanted to lose my mom. And I feel like having done this walk and having had this experience, I feel like I have finally had my say. The 3-day is a gift.
Let this moment be yours. Register today for the Breast Cancer 3-Day benefiting Susan G. Komen for the Cure.
29-28. Judges Raul Calles Sr. and Judge Pat Russell both scored about 30-27. All for your winner, fighting out of the red corner, representing the LAPD's Northeast Division. She is Sugar Dre Fonseca.
Trey Fonseca, Northeast Division gets the hand raised. Look good in that ring. Gets a pink ribbon. Again, Proceeds from tonight benefit the Susan G. Komen Foundation for Cancer Research. And that's a cause that Oscar De La Hoya very closely works with. As a Cecilia De La Hoya wing at White Memorial in honor of his mother, who passed away from breast cancer before he went to the Olympics. There you see some recap of that fight.
Yeah, and I scored all 3 rounds for Fonseca, just like the official judges, Steve. She was just the ring general in there tonight. She was sharp, she was accurate, she was in control. For all 3 rounds, although Reyes did bring it in the final minute of round 3.
I thought Reyes looked a little bit more comfortable as the fight went on, but Doug, I agree with you. Fonseca early on did a nice job of doubling up on the jab, controlling the distance, and in the second half of this fight, layering that attack with overhand rights over the top, and I thought those were the most telling blows of these 3 rounds.
Good form from Fonseca. She's got very good technique.
Third amateur fight coming your way. We have 7 amateur fights featuring the LAPD and New York Police Departments. Also different precincts around Southern California will be involved.